Hey guys, I hope you're doing well. It's Hikari and welcome to my first sketchbook tour. Today I wanted to share this sketchbook with you all, not because it's the most recent sketchbook or because it's the prettiest, but I wanted to share this because it's a sketchbook that means a lot to me. I think a lot of my high school friends probably remember this sketchbook because I carried it every single day for 3 months. And this is actually the sketchbook that I used for my CalArts application, and even though I wasn't accepted, I'm really glad that the application forced me to start and finish a sketchbook during this time of my life, and it really forced me to step out of my comfort zone and try new things. So I want to share this sketchbook with you all, and maybe it can encourage you to try something new, even if it doesn't work out from the get-go. Actually, a lot of my portfolio pieces and a lot of the stories that I'm working on now, it started from this sketchbook. So I'm excited to revisit the memories with you all as well, especially since this was drawn from August 2022 to November 2022. It's the very beginning of my senior year in high school, so we'll get to revisit some of the memories as well. Now let's get started. Okay, so this is the first page. I actually drew this page a lot later. I think it was one of the last drawings I ever did, and I decided to add like a title page because for one, it was for an application, so I wanted the people looking at my application to know whose sketchbook it was. And also because I carried this around so much, it was helpful to have a name on there that people recognized. So this is the title page. That's me with my pet caterpillar who will make an appearance later in the sketchbook. This was my first page in the sketchbook, and I remember being very nervous, so I drew some of the characters that I was working on. He's from a series that I'm trying to write right now called Mallet, and is about a group of percussionists. This mainly was to get some of his expressions, but also to figure out what the hands look like when I'm holding the mallets. The next page is the walrus, which was part of a few of my portfolio applications, and this was actually drawn after I went to the aquarium with a group of friends, and we saw 3 walruses, and they were so scary and big that I was like, okay, I should draw them because they are terrifying. And this was a little girl that we were with, and she was so excited by them, but I was just scared that she was gonna get eaten, so I also drew that. This was the first time that I tried to have like a finished sketchbook page, and it wasn't just a sketch, but I like shaded it and like made it look pretty. And I don't think all sketchbooks look like this, and we'll get to that later, but this was like a nice beginning of me trying new things in this sketchbook, and I really like the line and shading in this part. This is a continuation of the aquarium, and I drew these 3 together, and then I added color to this one because the color of the fish was really pretty, and I really enjoyed drawing fish, but I wanted to make it into a character, so then this guy appeared, and he's actually in my YouTube banner. If you look, this is like his first design, and this is like him walking, and this is him crying. This is the front view of him, and I continued drawing him here, the top view and the bottom view, and he was just a fun character to draw. And here, this was actually my first time of drawing people right in front of me as they were interacting with each other and drawing people from life. And I ended up doing this a lot in my sketchbook here, and I still do this now. So this was kind of the beginning of all of that. And this was when my sister came back to Japan. This is another character from the Mallet series. She's a drummer, so I was practicing drawing someone playing the drums, and I was trying to figure out her face here. This is the main 4 characters that I had planned by this time, and this is the main character, the best friend, the older student, and the other older student. She's the drummer, and I like added a little mallet for each thing that they do. Like these 2 play mallet instruments, she plays the drums, and he plays the violin, so he has a little bow. And this was really helpful for me to figure out their faces, but also their characters, so writing stuff like this really helped. This is another one of my favorite pages. It's the cicada shell, and I really like insects and Cicada shells are very fascinating. They're so intricate. So I drew a bunch of the ones that I collected over the summer with a pen, and then I drew a close-up version of it with color pencil, and this ended up turning into the blueprint portfolio piece that you may have seen if you've been on my Instagram or watched the portfolio video. So this is a very important page for me. This is another attempt at drawing people from life just around me, and I highly recommend sketching with highlighters. You can get a lot loose because with pencil I tended to focus too much on the details, but highlighters really helped me just grab the shape. This is another highlighter sketch of my friends outside, and this is the outfit that I wore a lot during this time, and I thought it would be funny if a clump of my hair turned into a living being, and this is a little comic of me noticing that this hair is living. And it was inspired by like Cousin It from the Addams Family and Netama Oyashi. Yeah, this is just a cute idea I had, really enjoy it. This is a sketch of some characters from a different story I've been working on. They're a group of spies and they all have code names, so this is H, N, and R. These characters, especially H, will come back, so stay tuned. I really enjoyed using the Posca pen for the edges because it's very black and it just makes this page pop. This is me figuring out the heights for the characters in that story, and this is H again, just trying to figure out their expressions and stuff like that. This is my senior year English class, and we read The Watcher at the Gate by Gail Godwin, and we had to draw like a self-critic, so I was trying to figure out his design in my sketchbook and then use that in class. This was the first volleyball game of the year, and you can see that my poses are very stiff, but I think this was the beginning of me just drawing the motion I saw in front of me, so I would recommend. And again, adding highlighters or just color, even if you're not super proud of that drawing, it makes it pop, so I would recommend. And these are people from my art club, and these actually look like them, so I'm very proud of this. These were people in a lecture that we were listening to, and this is a random character. This is fish volleyball again. You can tell that I was thinking about fish and volleyball a lot during this time. This is him bumping, setting, and spiking, and I thought this idea would be funny because he realistically can't play volleyball because of his head being too big and he would faint, but drawing this was really fun, and I think I might turn that into stickers sometime. This is my teacher that I just sketched while listening to him. This is the origin of the traffic light turning into elephant animation. This was my first sketches of him, and I'm still working on this, so I've been working on this for over a year, I guess. That's crazy. And this project means a lot to me because it's just something that made me want to like start animating and made me realize like, oh, I can do this. These are the character H again. I really like this downward hatching, like color pencil kind of thing. I just really like the flowiness of this page. I think I drew this during woodworking class or something, but this was really fun to draw. This is like a 30-second self-portrait. This one is several drawings of sea slugs, and sea slugs are fascinating. I have an entire book about it, and they're so colorful, and I think it's just amazing that these creatures exist in the world, and I would recommend if you want some inspiration for colors, they are what to look for. And I wanted to try out some new gouache that I bought during this time, so I drew a bunch of my favorite looking ones. I personally like this one because maybe you can tell it's like dots. Yeah, so I really like that one. And this was another sea slug in the book. It's the Tritoniopsis elegans. Whatever it is, it's that. And they're very cool because they have like the fracture effect where it's like when it keeps splitting, and this was like a close-up that I drew of them, and they really fascinated me, so I was like, oh, it would be cool if I designed a character out of the sea slug, and I created this like witch character. I might revisit this idea because it's a pretty fun one. This is just a storyboard of the elephant guardsman. This is the comeback of the caterpillar from earlier. I drew myself when I was younger. If I had a pet caterpillar who was about the same size as me. Thought it would be funny if he's actually very fast and he runs away and I have to have him on a leash, but he doesn't listen to me. I never had pets growing up, but I think I would have enjoyed having a big caterpillar. This was a sketch idea I had of drawing my classmates, but it's just the bottom half. And it's fascinating what you can learn or remember about a person from just like what they wear. This is another one of the drawing whatever is in front of me, sketching without a pencil kind of idea. This is my dad working and I was looking up, and this is during art class. I wasn't allowed to draw fan art in this sketchbook, and that was the thing that really stumped me, because until this time I had been drawing fan art mainly in my sketchbook. So I was like, if I can't draw fan art, maybe I'll draw fan art of my old drawings. So this was a character in middle school that I created, and I wanted to redesign him because his outfit kind of was a lot. So I tried redesigning him, but I'm really not good at outfit design, so I think I might need to do this again. And this is just what he looks like under the hood. And then I got bored of all my stiff poses, so I was like, if I had to draw from different perspective, different poses, I tried different things, just stuff like that. This is a planning page for my AP art. This was the first still life, actual still life that I attempted during art club, and I really didn't like it, but I'm glad I did this because I always need to start somewhere. And these are just drawing my mom in a kitchen and then a close-up of her kind of thing. This is when I think I started drawing more details on the face, and I attempted adding shadows and stuff like that. These are just random characters and character poses from random shapes. This is a portfolio piece actually of mine. It's my sister looking into a reflective surface, and I did this with color pencil, and I really like this one. This is just a random doodle. This is also a random doodle of the people who are around me. And then this is something I still do a lot when I'm bored or stressed. It's just a bunch of hatching. You start at a corner and you keep building, and it just turns into this. And I used this for one of the draw with me's I did before of the house. I used it as a background. These pages are from when our class took a trip to Nagasaki and we visited some churches and some museums. This was an interesting window that I saw, and this is a model ship that was in the museum. But what I tried with this part was drawing it in the glass case and then drawing another close-up portion of it and drawing another portion of it, stacking different perspectives on top of each other. Actually, this part is supposed to be here on top of it, but I wanted to do a close-up of it. This is, again, the hatching idea, and I like the absence of it here. It's kind of fun. It creates contrast, so I really like this page. This is the Peace Park that we visited after going to the Atomic Bomb Museum in Nagasaki, and we were just reflecting, and this is the building that's still left, and it's burned and destroyed, and just looking at the effects of the atomic bomb in this peaceful scenery. I thought the contrast was very interesting, and during my reflection I drew this. This is the sights of Nagasaki that I saw from the hotel window, and I just really liked all the overcrossing things and how the house is stacked up, so I drew that with ballpoint pen. These are just random characters again. I was trying to figure out how to lay out his character on a poster. This is another story I'm working on that I started in this sketchbook called My Brother is a Witch, and it's just a story about a little sister and her older brother, and this is the initial ideas and then his wardrobe design and the idea with different drawings and different scenarios. This is the younger sister's design and trying to figure out her little doll that the brother made for her and figuring out their size difference. And this is just several scenario drawings. I really like this one, particularly this part. It's very cute. This is again random poses, random characters with different colors. I drew this when I was watching Miles Bonsignore's Perfect Person podcast, and he had this really nice yellow chair, and I really liked it. This is again the brother from the series earlier. This is H again, and I wanted to draw them as a mini character. Here I got new color pencils from the art room, and they were like metallic colored pencils, so I tried something flowy and I tried something more angular. This is a continuation of the purple and green idea. And then I got new brush markers, so I was trying to figure out how I can use brush markers in my style, which I didn't figure out here, but I have figured out now, and it's very fun. Again, another random character. I drew this YouTuber that I was watching. I really liked his hair, and I don't draw many people with glasses, so I wanted to challenge myself. But I kept drawing him in different colors, and drawing the same person, the same image over and over again is really fun because each time you're focusing on something different. And by the end, I was so used to the face that I was able to like make my version of this person's aesthetic. And yeah, it was just a really fun thing to do. This is just another random sketch of people with masks. Oh, and this is my favorite series in the sketchbook. It's the sumo wrestlers, and I drew these with ballpoint pen. I really challenged myself in this sketchbook to just draw whatever was in front of me with pen because I wasn't able to erase. And this was when I was like, oh, I think drawing this much in this time is really, helping my art, because this was the first thing in the sketchbook that I was actually proud of. And I drew a backside version as well. And yeah, I'm still really proud of these. I really like how I captured the pose in a stylized way, but still kept the weight. And this is like them interacting with each other. These, I was trying out another new brush pen series that I got from my grandma's house. Again, random sketch. This was someone's outfit in class that I really liked, so I drew them. This was when we were working on our college essays, and my friends were editing my essay for me, which I really appreciated. But I was also like, oh, let me draw you guys because this is part of my application as well. And for me, like looking back at these were really like the beginning of me just like randomly drawing people with ballpoint pen, no going back, just draw it. And I'm really proud of the fact that I started doing these things in this sketchbook because I'm usually so scared of failure, and even in my sketchbooks I was always scared to like try new things. So I'm glad I took this challenge and it really paid off. These are more character drawings, and I was working on this poster with like spirits grabbing onto him, so I was trying to plan that. This is a page that I did after doing some research about Taisho and Meiji era fashion. This was a period in Japanese society where Western influences and the traditional fashion kind of mixed together, and I wanted to draw like different people with their different fashions, starting from different shapes. So she was a triangle, he's a square, she was a oval, and I created more of these characters. I wanted to draw like them interacting with each other, so I drew these. And I had a lot of fun with this because this era fashion is also in the Great Ace Attorney series, or Daigyakuten Saiban, so I had this era in the brain. It was really fun to do this. And this is actually a really fun exercise to do if you're bored. You draw one image with your left hand and then you draw it again with your right hand. It's really fun and I would recommend. This is another ballpoint pen sketch when I went to the aquarium again, and this was a turtle I saw and this was a frog I saw. I'm not very good at drawing realistic frogs, so this was a challenge. And this was a page full of eyeballs that I had a lot of fun drawing, and I also had a lot of fun flipping to this page when I show my friends and freaking them out. This is a more stylized version of the highlighter sketches. This is like my living room and this is the kitchen. I really like using two colors for the highlighter sketch, and breaking them down into this kind of like simple style was really fun as well. These are some of the caterpillars and cicadas I really like. I drew them with ballpoint pen again. I would recommend drawing insects if you want to draw something intricate. And these are just more highlighter sketches of my school library. I tried adding like black ink to it, but I don't really like it, so I stopped doing it, I think. This is more characters from the Witch series. I wanted to design a mom, so this is me doing that. And drawing a family tree, and drawing different eyes for your characters is really a cool way to differentiate your characters. So this is the mom, the son, the daughter, and I do this like eye chart a lot for the characters I create. This is just more planning about a project. This is me trying out metallic color pencils again. And these are part of my leftover series that I did for my AP art portfolio. And these are leftover plates from my food. And I drew this also with highlighter and then put ink on top of it. This is just the transformation sequence of the traffic guardsman again, because by this time I was trying to animate him. And I was trying to figure out his expressions, stuff like that. This is the left hand, right hand exercise again. This is my friend almost sleeping in class. And then these are portraits that I drew with my eyes closed. This is really fun because you're drawing the parts, but you have your eyes closed, so it looks really funky and I really enjoyed it. These are more characters. These are characters I made in junior year, going against some new characters that I drew for this. And I actually really like his face here. This is just more of that character. I wanted to figure out what was going on with his eye and just plan their character a little bit more. And then this is his partner. And then I got bored of my stiff poses again. And I was like, oh, I need to make it dynamic. So this is a girl falling and being boxed in. And I used like Posca pen again to add contrast. These are more from the leftover series. This is my grandpa eating sushi. And then this is leftover of ramen. These are my relatives. I drew them with color pencil and they actually look quite accurate. Then I was running out of ideas, so I drew several hands like you always see in the CalArt sketchbooks. I really like this hand. I was trying to work on drawing real life things, but in my style. So this was like a weird in-between. That's why like the eyes are kind of off. This is more stylized with the face. Yeah, it was a hard balance to figure out and I'm still working on that. These were some photos of me during this year, and I was just drawing memories that I really enjoyed. And then that's the last page. This is me saying bye, and then it's the date of when I started and when I ended. If you're interested in this sketchbook, it's the sketchbook by Talon's Art Creations, about 12 centimeters by 12 centimeters. It's very easy to carry around and also very good paper. Actually, I converted a lot of my friends to start using this sketchbook, so I would definitely recommend. So thank you for joining me on my first sketchbook tour. I hope you enjoyed, and subscribe if you want to see more art from me. Thank you for joining me again. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye bye.